It might be one of the most successful cartoons in history, but it's not without its missteps. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst Family Guy episodes. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at episodes from the animated sitcom that famously failed to generate laughs, connect with fans, or impress critics. Number 10, Brian and Stewie. This episode is what we call a bottle episode, which means it takes place in one location.
You invented a time machine, but you can't get us out of a safe?
In a comedy series, it's often done to save money, but you'd think, given that Family Guy is an animated series, they wouldn't have to worry about paying for a location. That leaves us with no option but to assume that this was a creative choice. Well, based on the end result, it was a bad one. The episode centers around Brian and Stewie trapped in a bank vault, meaning that it's really just Seth MacFarlane talking to himself for 22 minutes. The episode drones on, a jokeless, overly emotional mess.
You think I care about you? I don't.
Yes, you do. I know you do.
I don't really care. No, you're just smart enough and you're just clever enough to occasionally amuse me.
Number 9, April and Quahog. Listen, we know Peter Griffin is designed to be a mean character. He abuses his kids, makes fun of his wife, treats his friends like trash, destroys the town every chance he gets, etc., etc. However, deep down, he's always seemingly loved his family and would do anything to protect them, or so we thought. All that is tarnished in this episode when he admits that he in fact hates spending time with his children.
I just hate being around the kids.
What?
So much for the idiot with a heart of gold. Don't worry, he buys the kids' love back with an Xbox. Oh, and they bring back Surfin' Bird again. Hilarious.
Oh, have you not heard?
Heard what?
Number 8, Brian Griffin's House of Pain. Where do we begin on this bowling ball-sized ball drop? Possibly with the B story, which explores the incredibly irresponsible sides of Chris and Meg. In this episode, they accidentally pushed their little brother down the stairs, causing a massive head wound. Instead of bringing their injured sibling to the hospital, they cover it up for weeks. When Peter finds out, he informs them this is a regular occurrence, and even helps them blame Lois for the whole ordeal.
You just gotta cover it up and eventually it all works out.
Yeah, it's as bad as it sounds, and the A story's no better either. Truly a disappointing episode. Number 7, Stewie is a saint. Taking a step up from Bowling Ball, this is a 9 months pregnant-sized ball drop. What we mean by that is in this episode, Stewie gets pregnant.
You need to get a big fat abortion right this second.
Taking his implied obsession with his friend Brian to a whole new level, Stewie uses some scientific mumbo-jumbo to impregnate himself using Brian's DNA. While that is certainly a visual we never asked for, the babies they produce are even worse. It all caps off with them leaving the abominations at a local animal shelter and everything returning to normal. But it'll never be normal again, will it? Some sights can never be unseen, no matter how many times you wash your eyes. Number 6, Brian's a bad father.
Hey, Dad. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I'm calling because I'm on my way to Quahog.
Yes, we know it's the name of the episode. Yes, we know eventually Brian and his estranged son Dylan make up, but the lead up to all this is so cringe-inducing, so forced, that the ends hardly justify the means.
You're a terrible father. I never want to see you again!
Brian even uses Stewie to apologize for him when Dylan demands space from his father. All this after Brian used the son he never wanted to further his writing career. Meanwhile, the typically wacky antics of Peter and his friends are replaced by arguing, betrayal, and shooting each other in the face.
Right, he shot me. I mean, if we're doing things fair here, then...
This episode really knows how real-life, relatable families and friendships work. Number 5, Herpy the Love Sore. From babies getting pregnant to babies getting herpes, this Family Guy episode sets a new low for the series. Brian and Stewie become blood brothers, but Brian fails to mention to his infant friend that he has herpes. This causes Stewie to get the disease too, and after some pitiful attempts at revenge, the two end up reconciling. Brian tells Stewie that the reason he didn't tell Stewie about the herpes was that he was embarrassed. And as if that was an acceptable excuse, Stewie forgives him and just accepts the fact that he has herpes for the rest of his life now. Alright, no more. Just talking about this episode makes one need a shower.
What the hell do you guys want from me?
I want to drive your Prius to the end of the block all by myself.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay!
Number 4, Screams of Silence, the story of Brenda Q. Do you know what Family Guy, the cartoon featuring an effeminate, evil mastermind baby and a talking alcoholic dog, needs? A serious story about abuse, of course. This episode is littered with head-shaking moments, like the scene where Quagmire's sister is being beaten by her husband and everyone in the neighborhood is awake to hear it.
Let's waste this dick.
It's a scene that plays out in excruciating detail, and one that just makes you wince and ask, why? While the episode ends on a positive note for Brenda Quagmire, it teaches the audience that the best way to deal with abuse is revenge and ultimately murder. You know, classic comedy.
A little rough, Peter.
I didn't write it, Joe did.
Number 3, Life of Brian. A universally hated episode and the one with the lowest IMDb score on our list. This one is despised by fans especially. Not only did they take one of the most lovable characters and replace him with the quote-unquote hilarious Vinny, but they did it just to shake things up.
Well, look at you, Vinny. It's like you're already part of the family.
Viewers were shocked by this overly emotional, lame episode, and apparently the actors were too. What surprised them even more was the fans' reaction, and creator Seth MacFarlane is quoted as saying, "We were all very surprised, in a good way, that people still cared enough about that character to get that angry." What? Caring when a funny character is replaced by one that's lame? Get out of town. Number 2, Fresh Air. Alright, here comes the meteor-sized ball drop. Collectively, the worst part about this episode is all the uncomfortable incest jokes. From Carter giving his grandson, hand pleasure to Peter attempting to marry his son, one may notice the absence of laughter and the rise of sounds like ooh and wow.
I don't know what to do now.
Feel that chill down your spine? That's your brain trying to escape your body and hide from this episode. So Peter tries to marry Chris so that he can steal the money that Carter left to him.
2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled. Now, I ain't no scholar, but if that's not a metaphor for major league butt stuff, I don't know what is.
Pay attention to this recipe, people. 1 cup of incest, 1 cup of ugly motivations, and a whole lot of awkwardness make for a perfectly terrible episode. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some dishonorable mentions.
Okay, you know what? Elephant in the room. I'll say it. So, Ida, you miss your penis?
Peter! Thank you for asking it.
Jeez.
No, it's okay. It's a perfectly normal question. We can't sit here and just pretend everything's the same. A book burning?
Come on, grab an armful. We have to destroy everything that's harmful to God.
It worked! I'm free at last!
But what about Chip? Where's Chip?
Hey, everybody! Look who's walking! Chip!
Number 1, Seahorse Seashell Party. Here it is, folks. The asteroid that killed the dinosaur-sized ball drop. The worst Family Guy episode of all time. This one's a doozy, too, drawing bad ideas from the others on this list.
Bang, bang! I'm gonna finger bang you, Chris!
Not if I finger bang you first, Dad.
It's a bottle episode with more drama than comedy that focuses yet again on abuse.
Meg, don't talk to your father like that.
Yeah, shut up, Meg.
No, you shut up, Chris. I am sick of all you guys ganging up on me.
While we have to give Meg some kudos for finally standing up for herself, she completely goes back on it all by deciding to be the family's martyr.
Maybe if I feel bad, they don't have to.
We get that Family Guy likes to make taboo jokes and take controversial angles, but the ending pretty much communicates that people in abusive relationships should stay there. And there's nothing funny about that.
You're a bitch.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.